Well, hello, my friends. I'd like to begin today with a question. Have you ever heard of the name Brian Simo? Well, I hadn't. But he was a professional race car driver for many years. Never really became popular or successful like some of the other race car drivers did, but he did become successful in something else. He started a clothing company with the phrase on it, "No fear." And I just checked, and in January of 2023, his net worth was $5 million. But that phrase, "no fear," and really we can find it even in the Old Testament. In our reading today in Deuteronomy chapters 29 to 31, first of all, chapter 30 was also a chapter of choices that we talked about yesterday, choice of life and death, blessing and cursing. But it's chapter number 31 that I want to look at. There's a transition that's taking place. We look in the back here and we see a bridge, and a bridge is a transition. It gets you from one side to the other. Some people are afraid of bridges, but they are meant to move a person or move people from one side of the land to the other side. Well, there's a bridge taking place. Moses is fading out. He's not going to be able to go into the promised land, and he's turning the power over to Joshua, and there's a transition taking place. And in chapter 31, verse 6, Moses tells Joshua, he says, "Be strong and courageous." And he says, "He will never leave you nor forsake you." Actually, that's the people he's telling, because they're afraid. But then in verses 7 and 8, let me just read it for you. And Moses speaking to Joshua, he spoke to the people first. He said, summoned Joshua, he said, "Be strong and courageous, for you shall go with this people into their land. And it is the Lord who goes with you," verse 8. "He will be with you. He will not leave you nor forsake you. Do not fear or be dismayed." So that's the second time he told the people, and now he's telling Joshua. And now over in chapter number 31, verse 23, God is telling Joshua. He says, the Lord commissioned Joshua the son of Nun. He said, "Be strong and courageous, for you shall bring the people of Israel into the land that I swore to give them. I will be with you." So he did not have to fear, because the Lord was going to be with him. Now, friends, here's something important for us to understand. That as long as we have God with us, we don't need to fear. We don't need to fear man. We don't need to fear anything that's happening around us. The circumstances. We live in a culture where there's a lot of fear going on with the pandemic and wars and so on. But if God is with you, you can be courageous. You don't have to fear. He will never leave you nor forsake you. God bless you. Don't forget that. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.